Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is accurate context. Well, no, actually, no. This is not accurate context tonight. This is I have a question. That's what it is. Because Kimmy, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Kimmy? But before I get into this late night live, please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so as yet, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. All right. Hi, Miss Linda Gamble. Hi, my YouTube auntie. I see Laquita. I'm hopeful that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank y'all for being in the yard, chatting with me. And to everybody else who is watching in the bushes, I appreciate y'all joining. And for my replay gang, when y'all hear this, thank y'all as well for tuning in. So, I'm sure by now y'all have seen the preview clip for Love and Marriage Huntsville, where Kimmy is, taking a dig at Melody. That's how we're going to word it, right? But for me, it's like Kimmy had a one-on-one scene with Melody. Y'all remember that? Whether you watch the show, whether you tune into your favorite CCs or you watch the clips on Instagram or TikTok, do y'all remember this scene? And shout out to Reality Entertainment TV on TikTok. That's where I got this screen grab from. So when Melody, had her meeting with Letitia Scott and she asked about the lipstick stains or supposed lipstick stains on Maurice from his arrest. And even when he was at what's her name? Latricia. I'm now going to be calling Trisha Latrasha because since she wanted to call Melody garbage in Saturday's episode, I think it's only right that I now deem her Latrasha. Okay? So moving forward, if y'all hear me say Latrasha or Trasha, I'm talking about Trish. All right? So, anyways, hey, Nikki's news on narcissism. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the yard. So, Kimmy and Melody, they had this one-on-one scene where Kimmy basically was confronting Melody on talking to everybody else and questioning Maurice's whereabouts the night or the afternoon or the morning when he was arrested, and questioning them and showing them pictures, speculating on whether there was lipstick on his shirt. So Kimmy invited Melody to lunch, I'm assuming, and she wanted basically to have Melody say to her face the things that Melody was saying to Trash or Latrasha and Letitia Scott, right? But now when we're looking at the reunion clip, my question is, Kimmy, why did you not have the same energy in this one-on-one scene that you had with Melody? Why didn't you give her the same energy that you're giving to her in the reunion? Is it that you were waiting for an audience? Because it's not making sense. It's given that all these people who have an issue with Melody, whenever they meet up with her one on one, they keep it cute, they keep it calm, they say what they need to say to her, they hash things out. But then the second they get to having an audience, all of a sudden, all of a sudden, they want to get crunk. Stormy did it. Let's do a quick flashback. Remember that before Stormy's Lovers and Friends event, her and Melody met up at some teriyaki place. And at the point in time when Stormy met up with Melody at this teriyaki place, Stormy knew that she was supposedly going to turn herself in and that there was a warrant out for her arrest. And she had all these feelings in that moment about quote unquote Melody's fan base. But in that scene, she never said anything to Melody. But what did Stormy do? She waited until she had an audience on the girls' trip, an audience of several women who she knew in that moment don't like Melody. And she used that opportunity, having an audience, to confront Melody and tell Melody that you need to stay where you stand on what your on what her supposed fan base was supposedly doing to Stormy. So Kimmy is basically following that same game plan where she had the opportunity in this scene to say to Melody, girl, you're talking about rumors on the blogs about Maurice having lipsticks. But what if I was supposed to bring up the rumors that I've heard on the blogs about you allegedly having a botched BBL? Kimmy, you could have done that in this one on one scene with Melody. Why did you not do that? Why did you not do it then? Maybe because you had no backup. Maybe because you knew that in a one on one scene, Melody was going to eat you alive and you wanted to make sure that you had the backing of your husband, your sister in law, your brother in law, Carlos, who's probably not going to make Melody speak, Martel, Latrasha, Destiny, Stormy, Ken. That's what, 9 people? You wanted to make sure that if Melody was going to, because I don't know how the reunion is set up, but I can just imagine Melody trying to get a word in after you took that dig at her and not being able to say what she would have probably said to you in this scene because Carlos is over talking her, Letitia Scott is over talking her, and everybody else on the stage over talking her. I'm just saying, I could be wrong because I'm sure Melody clapped back and clapped back hard in at the reunion. But y'all, let me play the clip from this scene. Let me play the clip from this scene. Conversations that you're making going around talking to people in regards to the lipstick and his whereabouts or what I'm trying to address now because it's in regards to my husband and it's coming from you.
I think that's not cool. It's far exceeds the fact that you rendered your opinion on an arrest. My issue is this. And to be fair, your kind of cavalier attitude about it, like I'm not going to talk about it, really doesn't help me feel like that it was unintentional. I don't know. Do you have some kind of information, some kind of proof, some kind of something that would lead you to believe that? What would make you say that? I feel like you asked me, like, how dare I ask questions about something? I'm gonna ask questions. Melody is a wordsmith. That's what I call Melody. And so I believe she uses her conversation wisely to get to the place that she wants to be. And right now, not talking about what she said when she said it is weird to me because you can talk about it with Tisha and you can talk about it with Trisha. You can talk about it, but
Actually, this is not even
this is
clip.
like, I just always feel like when we, this is
This is
like
not.
on everything I love, I
Okay,
wanted us
this
to
is the
link up
clip.
without everybody else because I wanted to have a conversation in regards to some of the stuff that we've been talking about over the last few weeks. All of it, for the most part, is centered around Maurice and his arrest. My biggest issue in this, to be honest, was that I literally just had lunch the other day with Trisha and Tisha. Okay. And both of them shared information with me that you shared with them in regards to your sentiments about some of the arrests and some of the timing of it. And Trisha was like, she was drilling me like on questions and timing and da 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 da. And
Okay, Kimmy lied right there because Trish, Melody wasn't drilling Trish about timing as it relates to Maurice and whatever he was up to on the day that he was arrested. Melody was drilling Trish regarding dates and timing as it relates to Trish perhaps being up in Melody's marital home when she was perhaps still very much married to Martell. So right then and there, I was like, when I watched the scene with Melody and Trisha, I didn't see Melody asking Trisha any questions about Kimmy and Maurice. But what Kimmy wanted to do right there is to make it seem as if Melody was going around asking or talking to a million people about Maurice's arrest and whether or not he had lipstick on his shirt. So I wanted to point that out, that Kimmy lumped Trisha, or as I'm calling her right now, Trasha, into this whole conversation when Melody had not asked Trisha anything about Maurice or his arrest. So let's continue.
and Maurice had lipstick on. Tisha said you said the same thing to her, and you showed her. Y'all looked at a picture to see like, where's this lipstick? Where's the lipstick? It's been all over the internet. Like we've all seen it, and I'm so yeah. I asked the question. I think the whole lipstick part was a bit out of pocket.
Okay. So basically, Mel's answer in this scene is the same answer that she is going to give on the reunion stage, that it's been all over the blog. So my question to Kimmy is, when Melody gave you the same answer in this scene, why didn't you respond to her in the one-on-one scene with the same energy that you're going to be responding to her with on the reunion stage? Kimmy, let's continue, y'all.
The arrest itself is public information. It's whatever it is, what it is. However, that part, I didn't think that was friendly. And you actually talked to me face to face, and you never mentioned those things to me. As far as
She actually did bring it up to you, Kimmy. She didn't go as far as being able to bring up the lipstick, because the second she brought up, you know, having an understanding of your significant other embarrassing you in the public and whatnot, Kimmy, you shut the conversation down. You said that you couldn't discuss, you know, anything that was not in the public domain, is what you said to her. So, how would she be able to bring up the whole lipstick conversation to you when you had no interest in talking about it, Kimmy? Kimmy, are you okay? Are you okay, Kimmy? Let's continue, y'all.
being a concern about, I'm assuming the implication is where he was or where he could have been. And quite frankly, why would you even say that? Like, why would you think that? To be honest, you know how the way you just said, you don't care for it. I don't really care to have that conversation with you, to be honest.
See how Melody was very straight up in this scene? You see how she was very straight up in the scene? I can't wait to see how this part of the reunion is going to play out. Because there are people who love to say, oh, Melody is passive aggressive. Melody's passive aggressive. She wasn't passive aggressive here. She was very direct in telling Kimmy, girl, in the same way you didn't want to talk about it in the scene where you were at my house working out, is the same way at this juncture. I don't want to talk about it with you. I want to talk about it with Tisha. I want to ask Tisha if she sees the lipstick stains. I want to talk about it with Maurice because he's the one that was arrested, but I don't feel like talking about it with you. Melody was very direct. Let's continue.
I don't recall you asking me, can we wait till the facts come out? But I do recall you feeling like I'm not talking about it. Like, not talking about it. And hey, backed off, right? I'm like, okay. And I didn't say why. I wasn't. I don't remember exactly. I'm sure you probably, because it's an open case, I guess. So I'm assuming that's probably why, which makes sense. I don't disagree with you feeling that way, which is why I backed off. So you're saying that you're not going to have a conversation with me about what I'm asking you in regards to what you said to Trisha and Tisha, because I said I didn't. They've already told you. Yeah, I mean, they've already told you what I said. So it's one of those things.
See, Kimmy, why? Let me not even say that. Melody clocked you right here because here you are trying to create a moment. She's not denying what she said to Tisha. She's not denying what she might have said to Latrasha Arnett. What she's saying to you, Kimmy, is, girl, they already told you what I said. Why do you need me to repeat it? Like, why are we here? Just tell me what you need to tell me and stop asking me dumb questions like, repeat everything that you said to Tisha. Mel was very direct here. But let's continue, guys.
It was not really necessary for me to repeat what you already know I said since they've already told you.
Exactly.
But I'm asking you a direct question in regards to what you said about my husband.
And she already answered, Kimmy. Kimmy, are you okay? She already answered. She told you she's not interested in having the conversation again. She's not interested in repeating what she said because you already know what she said because Tisha told you. Melody is very aware that y'all are filming a TV show. She knows there are cameras on her when she is saying the things and asking the things that she's asking in scenes. And she knows that you're going to, I'm sure Melody knew that Tisha Scott was going to run on home and call you or text you and tell you everything that she said. So to be in a scene acting as if Melody was covert, when she asked the question about Maurice and his lipstick. That's dumb, Kimmy, but I might be wrong.
And I think it deserves an answer. But you already have my opinion because they already shared it with you. So, I don't feel like it's a conversation necessarily for you and I to have because it was not about you directly. The implication in conversations that you're making, going around talking to people in regards to the lipstick and his whereabouts, or what I'm trying to address now because it's in regards to my husband and it's coming from you. I think that's not cool. It's far exceeds the fact that you rendered your opinion on an arrest. My issue is this. And to be fair, your kind of cavalier attitude about it, like I'm not going to talk about it, really doesn't help me feel like that it was unintentional.
But why would you think it's unintentional anyways, Kimmy? You think Melody just unintentionally pointed out that the blogs were saying that Maurice had lipstick on his shirt? Kimmy, you were trying to create a moment here and you didn't get the reaction that you wanted from Melody in this scene. And honestly, they squashed it, y'all. I'm a fast forward towards the
Stop with
end.
the dumb. I'm saying if you think it. Okay, just ask them. I'm asking you. Yeah, I'm not answering that. What I will say is, as women, we all have intuition, baby girl. We all got it. So the fact that you're asking me that versus saying to me, I know he didn't have lipstick on his lips. I know he wasn't out cheating on me. That speaks of volumes. I just wanted to be extremely clear.
Mm-hmm.
My conversations are my conversations. I'm not going to be lumped in the group with a whole bunch of other people and what they might have said about you or what they did or whatever. Kimmy is Kimmy. And so when we go back to who said what, we'll just, keep it classy and keep it just with Kimmy. I heard you. Your feelings matter. This conversation mattered. And ain't nobody else gonna be able to tell you that Melody asked no question about no lipstick on no mugshot. That's all.
Okay. So y'all heard what Melody said in the end after her and Kimmy had that conversation. It was settled. She said, "Okay, I hear you. This conversation matters. Your feelings matters. And from this point forward, ain't nobody else in the group is going to be able to tell you that Melody has asked any questions about Maurice and whether there was lipstick on his shirt." And Melody stayed true to that. To the point where, to the point where we then saw Kimmy in a scene with Melody inside of Melody's home at her breakfast or her dinner table, where Kimmy brings a bone to Melody that Trisha has an issue with Melody to the point where Trisha wanted to, I guess, slap Melody in the face. And then Kimmy also gave Melody the bone that Chris Fletcher was supposedly the one that introduced Martell and Trisha in 2021. Now we know that Melody's home is her safe space. We know that's her sanctuary. We know that's where she has her peace. And there are not many cast members, y'all, that can say that they've been inside Melody's home. But Kimmy is one of the cast members who can say that this season she's been inside Melody's home. And she was inside Melody's home after this conversation was had, after Mimosas with Melody. So the situation was settled. So, Kimmy, are you okay? Did you forget that y'all had settled this? to the point where Melody felt comfortable inviting you inside of her home. So why are you at the reunion with all this rah rah energy towards her? Because after that conversation, I'm guessing after that conversation was filmed, I didn't hear Melody on social media talking about you or Maurice or his DUI arrest or lipstick on his shirt or anything. In fact, Melody hasn't said a word about this show since summer, right? Am I right, y'all? I think around August, thereabout, is and that's around the time of Mimosas with Melody. So yeah, around August was the last time we heard Melody even mention that show. So, what is this energy that you have brought to the reunion when she's literally answering the question in the same way that she answered the question in the scene? She talked about the lipstick because it was in the blogs. That's what she said to your face in the scene one on one. And that's the same thing she's saying to you on the reunion stage. What is this energy, Kimmy? There's something that I realize with Kimmy, and that is during the season, she barely is skating by. But then all of a sudden, she gets to the reunion and she's turned up. Why is that, Kimmy? Are you okay? Because I'm trying to make it make sense. Did something else happen on something else must have happened on that reunion stage for you to take it to that point? Because it cannot just be because Melody said, "Girl, I saw it in the blogs." And I'm glad, Kimmy, honestly, because I don't feel like that dig you took at Melody was a read. And if that's what Carlos and Tisha were hyped about, Tisha was like, yeah, there was a moment when I was very proud of my sister-in-law. I was like, you go, girl. If that was the moment, then that's laughable, Tisha. If that was the moment that made you so proud of Kimmy, that's actually hilarious. You really have low expectations for Kimmy if that's the moment that made you so proud of her. But for me, I'm glad Kimmy said what she said in relations to the blogs. Because see, they all like to act as if Melody Cherie is the only one that is on YouTube watching certain bloggers. It's clear that they are also over here on YouTube watching the blogs too. So y'all are privy to every single thing that's happening in the blogs. You're privy to everything that Wanda has been saying about Melody. You're privy to everything that, certain bloggers on the other side have been saying about Melody. But in addition to that, y'all are also privy to Carson Blue coming out in what was it, 2023, talking about the Revenge P. But y'all all knew before Carson Blue came out and said anything because Y'all and y'all's husbands were sitting around allowing Martell to show y'all intimate images of Melody. And y'all never said a word because y'all wanted to believe Martell's lies that it was Melody and some other dude that she was cheating on him with. But even when Carson Blue came out and said this was a plot and it was a scheme that Martell and Coleslaw were trying to set up to embarrass Melody with a lie, y'all still didn't step forward to say anything. Y'all continue to play in her face and continue to act as if the situation as it relates to her and Martell and their co-parenting and him dragging her through court and her filing a police report and him getting arrested, y'all still try to play in her face and act as if she was wrong for taking those steps. Kimmy, you're more mad at Melody for asking about some lipstick on Maurice's shirt than you're mad at your husband for sitting in an interview and saying that he commends you for rolling over and taking it while you are struggling with the side effects of your cancer treatments. You are more mad at Melody for talking about some lipstick on his shirt than you are mad at him for causing you to be at home, stressed out in the middle of the night, wondering where he is, rolling out of your bed in the morning, driving all the way down to his office just to find out that he's not even there. Still probably worried because you know deep down in your heart that he's messing around on you, Kimmy. That's why you didn't want nobody to talk about what he does after 5. I bet your heart sunk to your toes when you got up that morning and he wasn't next to you. And the first thing you thought to do was to roll up down to Credit One to see if he was in the office. And I'm sure when you opened that door and you didn't see him inside of that office, you were in a panic. But you're more mad at Melody for asking about some lipstick. You're more mad at Melody, Kimmy, for asking about some lipstick on his shirt than you are mad at your husband for sitting around watching intimate videos of her that Martell was showing them. Kimmy, are you okay? Are you okay, Kimmy? Hey, kicking it with Courtney. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in here going off. I didn't realize that daughter of Israel is in here. Thank y'all for being in the yard. Melody is well within her rights to get in her messy bag if she wants to. When you sat in the scene and said, not even in the scene, when you guys were in Houston last year and you sat in that pool and said it was corny for Melody to have a whole name changing ceremony. You thought that was friendly? Huh, Kimmy? Trying to make her feel some type of way for getting rid of the Holt last name. You thought that was friendly, Kimmy? Not speaking up. Not speaking up as this man is dragging her through the court system in an effort to gain full custody of her children. Y'all think that's friendly? Now let's be for real. Let's go back to the Houston trip when we all saw Melody in that pool. The body was not given botched. So, Kimmy, you tried it. We can go all the way back to the Destin trip. We saw Melody at the beach in her bikini. Body was not given botched. Even if Melody got something done, it's still given proportionate. Everything matches. So it's given hater, Kimmy. It's given hater. Y'all just like this lady so much that y'all sit around. Cause hear what Kimmy said in the end. Let's replay what Kimmy said in the end. Cause I thought what she said at the end of this scene was very telling. It was very telling what Kimmy said at the end of this scene. And I'm gonna replay it for y'all. Cause maybe you missed it. So let's replay it. Ooh.
Give it. Usually, when people make implications, they feel like they have some backing. So I'm asking a straightforward. Am I the only person who's implied? It doesn't matter. I'm not talking to the only person. Am I the only person who's implied? Did you talking to Melody? So I'm not talking to all those other people. I know, and I'm saying I'm not going to answer or respond to that, but I would, if you haven't, challenge you to ask the people who have also made those implications. Ask them. I'm asking you. Yeah, I said I'm not answering that.
Again, Melody was very
What I will
straightforward.
say is, as women,
That's
we all
not
have
even
intuition
what I want to play. That's not even the part that I want to play.
out cheating on me. That speaks a bit about you or what they did or
Okay.
whatever.
This is the
This is
part.
saying to me, I know he didn't have lips.
I'm gonna let it play out on my side first. Make it play here.
That speaks volumes.
All right, here Kimmy goes.
I just wanted to be extremely clear. My conversations are my conversations. I'm not going to be lumped in the group with a whole bunch of other people and what they might have said about you or what they did.
You hear what she said? Kimmy says to Melody, my conversations are my conversations, and I'm not going to be lumped in with a whole bunch of people and what they have said about you. My takeaway is that Kimmy
Whatever. Kimmy.
is very much aware of the conversations that they are all having in private about Melody's life. And in this moment, what, in my opinion, what Kimmy was saying to Melody is that I feel like you are retaliating against me by talking about whatever you suspect Maurice to have been out there doing, because you believe that we all have sat around talking about you and the things that you have gone through, and you probably feel like there are things that Martel has done that we know about that we haven't told you, as you are going through all this BS with this man when it comes to the family court and his criminal case where he was convicted. That's what I think Kimmy was saying. Now, I could be wrong. And Kimmy was letting Melody know that, listen, it doesn't have to be a tit for tat. It doesn't have to be a tit for tat. You don't have to come for me because you feel like I've been coming for you. Kimmy was saying that them other people have said things about you. Them other people have done things to you, not me, girl. So you don't have to be on your get back when it comes to me, even though this is a tiny, tiny get back in comparison to what we have done to you. I'm going to play it again because maybe I'm the only one hearing it. Maybe I'm the only one hearing it. But that's what it sounded like to me. That's what it sounded like Kimmy was saying. My phone keeps closing, y'all. I'm going to play it again. Sometimes when we see something the first time, y'all,
My conversations are my conversations.
mhm,
I'm not going to be lumped in the group with a whole bunch of other people and what they might have said about you or what they did or whatever.
hear what she said? I'm not going to be lumped in with a whole bunch of people and what they've said about you or what they did. How did that, how did that statement even come about in a conversation that was about what Melody said about Maurice? Can somebody answer that for me? How did that statement, let's repeat what Kimmy said to Melody. My conversations are my conversations, and I'm not going to be lumped in with a whole bunch of people and what they've said about you or what they've done to you or whatever. How did that rhetoric enter a conversation that was supposedly Kimmy confronting Melody about her talking about Maurice and lipsticks on his shirt? What does anything that people have said about Melody or has done to Melody, what does any of that has to do with Kimmy confronting Melody about what she's saying about Maurice? It goes back to what I said. It goes back to what I said earlier. That was Kimmy saying to Melody, I feel like you're trying to get back at me for things that you now know Martell has been doing to you, for things that you know Martell has been showing the group, for things that you know the group has been privy to and has not shared with you, that is damaging, that's not okay. But I want to let you know that, Melody, I'm not a part of that. So please don't get back at me by talking about my husband. And in response, Melody said, listen, I hear you. Your feelings matter. And from this day forward, you're not going to be told that Melody has asked anybody else anything about Maurice and no lipstick on his shirt. And that was it. It was dead right there. But here we are going to see the reunion on Saturday. And what we're going to see is Kimmy being crunked because now she has an audience of people on a stage who don't like Melody. Melody is literally out there on that stage alone. No support whatsoever, no backup whatsoever. She doesn't have a friend on the stage. She doesn't have a husband or a boyfriend on the stage. She doesn't have a family member on the stage, an in law on the stage. She is an army of one. And we're going to watch. We're going to watch as Destiny comes at her, Kimmy comes at her, Maurice comes at her. maybe even Tisha. I don't know. I mean, Melody and Tisha, they haven't really gotten into any kind of disagreement throughout this season. I mean, outside of the room situation, and again, that was like a little bit petty. Maybe Nell Fletcher, who's going to bring up feeling like, oh, I was her mentor and she said I wasn't her mentor. Then you're gonna have, Chris Fletcher, you're gonna have Martell, Trisha, Ken, Destiny. Did I say Stormy yet? What's that, y'all? 11 people? 11 people? And maybe Sunny, who would probably be the only person on the stage to help to defend Melody, is not going to even be out there long enough. Sunny's going to have to be out there fighting her own battles by herself, being up against a Destiny and a Tisha and a Trish. Isn't that crazy? And let's not forget Carlos, because you can tell that Carlos has something against Melody. And let me tell you how I know he has something against Melody. Because before, I guess they unfollowed each other. Now, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if Melody was actually ever following Carlos, or if, I don't know. Right? I don't know for sure. But the word on the street is they've unfollowed each other. Okay? But before they unfollowed each other, I noticed a trend when it came to Carlos, right? He doesn't congratulate her on anything, on major moves, might I add. He doesn't congratulate her. But before they unfollowed each other, Melody was posting about um marriage mansion. And I didn't see any congratulations or anything under any of Melody's posts about her movie. But Kimmy just posted that she's going to be in a movie, and you know who is under there commenting on and congratulating Kimmy? Drum roll, please. Carlos King is. Hey, Glam. I've been missing your lives in the morning, but I try to catch the replays. And I feel like, y'all, that's a clear sign of having a disdain for somebody, where you purposefully show them how much you don't care about them or anything that they have going on. You would see him up under Stormy's post, liking and commenting and whatnot. You see him under Tisha's post and Marcel's post. You see him under Kimmy's post. But when it comes to Melody doing big things, I mean, she did a whole live with Lisa Ray, a whole live with oh my God, what's that girl's name from Harlem? Megan Good, Nick Cannon, and a comment from Carlos was nowhere to be found. And even tonight, as I watched Messy Mondays, the last part of Messy Mondays, and Dustin was reading Martell for filth, Carlos had no reaction. He had no commentary. He had a lot to say about Latrasha and Ken, but when Dustin was reading Martell down, he had nothing to say. And when Dustin circled back and called Trisha out for being low budget, for calling Melody garbage, Carlos still had nothing to say. Not even a follow-up question. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen What's going to actually happen on the reunion? I don't think Melody cared about Kimmy's comments about a botched BBL because Melody knows that her body is tea. She knows her body is tea. And I'm not even gonna talk about the pictures of when she is like, totally covered up in clothes. I'm talking about, as I said before, her bikini, she was in her bikini in on the Houston trip in the hot tub. And when she went down to Destin, and we see Melody all the time in her bathing suit, and there is nothing about her body that gives botched. So let's be for real, Kimmy. Are you okay? And you know what else I think, y'all? I think perhaps the animosity that Kimmy went to the reunion with towards Melody doesn't even have anything the to do with Melody's comments about the lipstick. I think it has everything to do with Maurice still being part of that lawsuit. Because remember, he's still in court with Miss Black Titanic. So perhaps because they can't talk about that court case on the show, because I heard True T and T from TV and all the people with the documents read certain things from the documents, and I don't think that they can mention the own versus lawsuit, because then that would go to a point that Miss Black Titanic's lawyers made in some of their filings, that they are using the case as part of a storyline. Because if y'all remembered the trailer for this entire season, Kimmy and Maurice, they were sitting on the couch and they were talking about, people needing to understand that there's consequences. Y'all realize we have not seen that scene? Let me see if I can pull up the clip. Let me see if I can pull up the clip from the trailer. Because there's a part of the trailer that we have not seen. Mhm. All right, let me see. Mm-mm. I don't want. Mm. Okay, there is a particular clip from the trailer. There's a particular clip from the trailer where Kimmy and Maurice, they were sitting on the couch, and Kimmy said, you know, people got to know that there's consequences. Even even a particular scene, the scene where Martell was where I'm gonna read your comment in a second too. Oh, here it is. Boom. Here's the first trailer, y'all. Toot says, "Hey, I see in chat that was supposed to be a part of the storyline, but El Camino botched the lawsuit." Yeah, because I listened to the reading of the, some of the things that are happening in court, and one of the things was that basically they were using the lawsuit as part of the storyline. I can't remember like the exact wordings and phrasings and stuff, but if y'all go to those, content creators who read the court documents from Miss Black Titanic's court case, there was something in it that mentioned the court case being used as part of the storyline, and Own, I guess, denying that that was the case. But then I said, but wait a minute, there was the scene from the trailer that made it seem as if they were alluding to the court case. What happened to that scene? Because we haven't seen it. But anyways, here is the first trailer. All right, here we go. Don't call her. She never was. All right, here we go. 2024 came in with a bang. You ain't seen this. Martell got a movie shot. Martell Holt was arrested and charged with domestic violence in the third degree. Harassing communications? Wasn't it like a text or something? Domestic violence sounds terrible. But it was poor communication. What if you really meant to do her harm? Domestic violence is not the same as harassment and communication. That's a phone charge. Like, your children gonna have to see this stuff. The internet never goes away. Marshall, right now, it is intervention. I'm getting arrested for a text message I sent literally over a year ago, you know? He literally took a video that he and I did and was going to have it released. My message to her was saying, stop bullying me. Some bigger restraints need to be done in holding people accountable. Why did you feel it was? There it goes. We never saw that. We never saw Kimmy and Maurice's scene where she's talking about, there needs to be some restraints and people being held accountable. Because when she said that, I was like, who are we talking about? Are we talking about the bloggers and whatnot? Are we talking about the court case? That was my question. And I remembered doing a reaction to the trailer and asking that question. But the season is done and we never saw that scene of Maurice and Kimmy on the couch talking. That scene never aired. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play that specific part. All right, let me see. Because away. Marshall, right now, it is intervention. I'm getting arrested for a text message I sent literally over a year ago. You know? Here it goes, guys. He took a video that he and I did and was going to have it released. My message to her was saying, stop bullying me. Some bigger restraints need to be done in holding people accountable. Why did you feel it was necessary? All right. So that's what she said. But that scene never made the cut. It never made the cut. It never made the cut. And I wondered why. And then when it was revealed through the court documents being read that Owen denied that Maurice was using the lawsuit as a storyline, I drew the conclusion that that scene was removed. That scene was removed so that there was no proof that he was actually using the court case as part of his storyline. Um, what else happened in the trailer that we didn't see? The trailer was actually better than the show. Trailer was actually better than what the show gave. Now, why is Martell up on the reunion stage looking like he's in a straight jacket? Can somebody tell me? And then him and Carlos are both in like full white. Martell is such a liar. He pled guilty, but he's saying he didn't plead guilty. Isn't that crazy? Is that not crazy? And then you have Maurice talking about Melody is, disparaging his name. Sir, how can she disparage your name any more than you've disparaged your own name? Driving around, driving around allegedly intoxicated, driving while under the influence. How is that not more damaging than Melody saying some lipstick was probably on your shirt? Because let's be clear, the lipstick could have been from your wife. Y'all could have easily said, yeah, during the night, I think I rubbed my lips on his shirt, and probably that's why you're seeing lipstick on it. So let's be clear. Anyways, let me read y'all's comment. Glam says, going back to bed listening in the dream cloud. uh, when Stormy used Miss BT as part, yes, Stormy did. There was one more scene that never aired as well. Yeah, it was the scene of while the girls were on the girls' trip, the guys were, I don't know where they were. And oh, let me play it. Let me play that part. Thank you for reminding me too. Let me play that part of the clip. Oh, child. Y'all, just like that, I lost it. I told somebody over on Twitter that Trisha was still in love with Ken, and they, not Ken, with Marquez, and they said, oh, you know, n- absolutely not. So it was very funny to hear Ken say that Trisha sent Marquez a text message um saying saying that, oh, if he wanted to come back, should have taken him back in a heartbeat. I thought that was pretty funny. And you know what else was pretty funny? You know what else was pretty funny? It's Trisha being mad at Melody because Melody clocked her as a liar. Only for the final scene for the season is her man Ken leaving the house and driving off because of her lies. Isn't that like what they call poetic justice or something? Child, where is this trailer? I need to be mindful of some of the things I search for in this app because, mm-mm. All right, let me play it. Oh my gosh. Oh, Sonny having kids? Not yet. You know, we're going through IVF right now. I had to listen to my friends ask Sonny about having children with my ex. As yes, a woman, Toot, it was the guy's scene. I gotta play out the trailer to get to that point. My wife ain't going for that. What they call a triple, triple, triple? Yeah, how it gonna work out? We don't know who gonna be the side chick here. You know, I don't know. You know, my wife. You know, you know what side chick gonna be? Oh, please, I'm not laughing at that one.
Me and Martell never had any sexual relationship, never went that far. But you did go to his house. Yes. Is she married, but she's not married, but she engaged? But just tell the truth. What I heard, he trained Martell. And Martell slid somebody DMs
Oh, this is the part.
to get some training. It ain't none of your goddamn business, though. This was before me. Before 5 years? No, he could have did that. He was married. He's not damn sliding while he's married. That was the same time that me, you, and Maurice, when we went to Las Vegas. Okay? You might want to be quiet. Poor man.
That part. That part right there. That part right there of Martell saying that remember me, you, and Maurice when we went to Vegas, that part never made it to air. Let's pull it up. And
To get some.
and this is in context of Martell and Coleslaw coming out with a whole interview with a chick that said she was in Vegas with all of them, and adult activities happen. But let's replay what Martell said. Let's replay what Martell said.
Training. It ain't none of your goddamn business, though. This was before me. Before 5 years? No, he could have did that. He was married. He's not damn sliding while he's married. That was the same time that me, you, and Maurice, when we went to Las Vegas. Okay? You might want to be quiet. Poor man.
Why did that part not air? Of him saying to their faces, y'all might want to stop talking about me and all the cheating that I was doing while I was married. Because remember, we were all down in Vegas doing stuff. That never made it to air. The faces that they made when Martell said that, they were shocked. I wish I could have shown y'all on the screen. They were so shocked when he brought up that Las Vegas conversation, because that was supposed to be a secret. That was never supposed to make it to the TV, but it did in the form of the trailer. So we got to take small wins. But y'all, I need to hop off this live because let me tell you how I'm falling asleep on y'all. It's not even funny. Oh my God, CK and Martell have always color coordinated. You think so? What did Carlos wear last season for their union? I don't remember what he wore. But I think it's weird that him and Martell literally are the only ones in full white. And Martell looking like he's in a straight jacket. That's what his suit looks like. Who knows? Maybe after the reunion, they're gonna snatch him up. Let's hope. Let's hope. All right, y'all. I gotta go because I'm falling asleep. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until my next video, please, everybody, sleep well. Oh, and please, y'all, go and support the video I did regarding Heavenly and some of the nasty, vile, gutter snipe things that she has said about Sweet Tea's reproductive health. There's so much information packed into that video. I talk about endometriosis, I talk about how it's developed, and it's important for us as young women and black women to know a little bit more about our bodies. So if you can, please go and watch that video. All right? So walk good. Good night. Bye.